We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Doing it
Okay.
live.
First off, I want to say, what's up, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic night. I hope you had a fantastic day and that tomorrow is even better. Thank you, number one. Thank you to every single one of you that watched this video, that watch all the videos, because you guys have been helping me regain my following that I lost. And all my numbers have been going up on each platform, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it a lot. I'm getting back to where I used to be, slowly but surely. So thank you. Number two, how come, and this is a question that we asked this question on here before we went live, but I want to ask all of you right now before we switch, because we're switching over to Pilled in about 20 minutes. But is there a star constellation that we can't see living in the northern hemisphere versus people that live in the southern hemisphere? Do we see different constellations, or do we all see the same constellations is my question. I think that we all see the same constellations, just different, like a different angle, because the sky is so big. But my man Casey says that they don't see the same constellations that we see down on the south part of the planet. So I don't know. I think that the way, I mean, yeah, we spin and so there's not no extra constellations that they see.
There
in
is.
The south.
There actually
What's
is.
the extra constellation that they see?
In the south, they see Phoenix, Gurus, Tucana, Eridanus, Hydrus, Lupus, Cruz, Centaurus, and Carina.
And we can't see those.
We can't see those up here. And there are some that kind of teeter, like at the halfway point.
Probably depends on the summer, fall, winter tilt of the Earth on which way you're going to be able to see at certain seasons, which also comes back to talking about flat Earth and the crazy people that actually can't put these things together.
No, but time out. I don't get this. How can real talk? How can they see constellations that we can't see if they get more sunlight and more darkness than we get in a year?
Because
right?
it's the shape of the Earth and your angle on this planet.
Yeah,
you're
but
looking.
We're a dot. The sky is huge. Space is huge. How is it that they can see constellations that we can't see? That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, really, because we can't see stars in the daytime. So how is it that they can see some constellations that we can't see if they got a majority of their time is
direction
daytime?
of view. So you know how we only can see 270 degrees in vision?
Yeah.
270 degrees.
There's a link I just posted that shows the image of the southern hemisphere.
Do me a favor, throw that in the private chat so I can click on it.
Okay.
I'm about to look this up.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you. No, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up and we'll go through it. Because this is gonna become fun, really fun. It still could be flat Earth, by the way. It still could somehow be flat Earth. I'm sure some people will be like, you know what? It's because of the hemisphere blocks your vision because of climate change. But so down here, where? Wait a minute. So what are
they would have the same? This doesn't make any sense. Makes zero sense because it's the same shadow being cast by the sun.
No.
Yes.
No. What the shadow from the sun is a different issue.
Yeah.
No.
What we're talking about is, can you actually see the object,
Casey,
at all?
Casey, how can you see stars at night?
Because of the sun, but you have to have
because the sun what?
Reflects off of the object.
No.
How else does the object glow?
Because it is, bro, hold on. Let me explain this real quick. Okay. The reason why you can see constellations in the sky at night is because the earth is facing away from the sun and the shadow of the earth is blacking out. So you can see everything that is behind the planet. Okay. The stars are their own light. It's not reflecting the sun's light. It's giving off the light of their own stars, which is how they're able to discover planets, because that planet goes in front of its star. or whatever galaxy or whatever it is that you're looking at, it has its own light. It has nothing to do with our sun. Our sun's light doesn't hit none of those planets outside of our solar system.
This is the first time I'm hearing that. Okay.
Yes, that's easy.
Okay.
That's stuff
So
read
I
and
get what you're saying there, but it still doesn't disprove what I'm saying. When we have our directional of view, our direction of
Right.
view, 270 degrees as our vision, right? When you're on the planet, you have your direction of view, and that is part due to objects and just your direction you're pointed by the planet.
Okay.
So you will have limitations that go out. And so that is where if someone is on the bottom side of the basketball, as what Earth, instead of the northern side, the northern hemisphere, if you're on the southern side, you're going to have 270 degrees of that direction. You're not going to be able to come up and see all the same stuff. There is going to be some blend in the middle around the equator, but not northern and southern will not have the same stars. No.
Oh yeah.
They're called circumpolar constellations, and they never set or rise. They make great reference points for sailors. They also have seasonal constellations, which are the ones that change over the year, and both sides can see. But each side, also northern and southern, have separate constellations that are permanent. Like up here in the north, we have Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Perseus, Lynx, Draco, Cephas, Cassiopeia, Andromeda, and Auriga. And then, like I said, the ones before, the Phoenix and all those are on the southern.
So the South Pole can't see the North Star.
Oh, I was going to look that up.
I don't think they could. It wouldn't make sense for them to be able to see it.
I don't
It
think
would drop below the horizon. The northern horizon, it would drop north of it. There's no way they'd be able to see it.
Yeah, the North Star cannot be seen from the southern hemisphere.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. There's not different constellations everywhere in the world, only at the northern and southern hemisphere, and they're not constellations that are new. They're just the ones that we can't see everywhere on the planet.
Oh yes, 100%. Correct.
Yeah. They're not new. It's just that because the Earth spins from east to west, not north to south. And so you have your northern ones and your southern ones that are completely different. And then you have your in-between ones that we see seasonally.
Correct. And so when the Earth tilts one way or another due to summer, winter, you might have some transition of those.
And that's the season.
That's about it.
I have a question then. A question. So if that's the case, right, we only know about the star systems that are in our orbit, the path that we travel, the traveled path of our orbit around the sun.
Correct.
We only know about those on the outer rim of that. So we don't know what's exactly, if we're going this way, we don't know what's straight down below the sun.
Us citizens, no.
Yeah,
think about that. Think about that for a second.
For some reason, a lot of planets and a lot of solar systems, they spin in almost like a disk. And instead of like a sphere where you'd have planets going all in different directions, you would have them. Most solar systems have them going around in a small disk.
So that's really crazy. Okay, have you guys read what's at the center of our galaxy, of the Milky Way galaxy?
A black hole.
No. No. I'm positive.
Pretty sure
over
most galaxies
200 billion novas, suns like ours. That's crazy.
Well, I mean,
right?
Galaxies aren't much different than a solar system. It's the same thing where they just spin around in a disk.
But here's my question: how the hell do they know? And because we've never even seen that far into our own galaxy, right? For them to be able to know that, number one. Number two, how the hell do they know what our galaxy even looks like? Who the hell took a picture of our galaxy?
That's why it's just a theory.
NASA, and you don't
That's
trust.
That's why
No,
it's,
NASA has never taken a picture of our galaxy. They
It-
can't.
it's called the Big
Impossible.
Bang Theory because it's just a theory. And then, like, for example, they can't take a picture of our entire galaxy because there's no satellite outside our galaxy to take a picture of it.
Exactly.
It's like
Exactly. Our
think of it-
galaxy's picture is fake. It's literally what they think it looks like.
think
And
of
then
it
they're
like
they're
a
re-
house.
they're saying that the Milky Way that you see in the sky that looks like a big old crack, but it says it's part of the arm of the Milky Way galaxy, is actually a whole nother galaxy that has merged in with ours.
Think of it like a house where our galaxy is a house and we all live in it. We can't take a picture of the house unless we're outside of it at a different angle.
It's really, really strange, bro. It's really strange. Things that make you just go, right? Like, how the hell do they know what our galaxy looks like? If we even are a galaxy, how do they even know that we are a galaxy just because they see other galaxies out there?
Well,
We can see parts of our galaxy, like we can see
No.
that we can see like the Milky Way.
The Milky Way is actually a galaxy that they say is merged with ours.
Like the house, you could see inside the house and all around us, but not the whole entire thing.
No, if the galaxy that we live in, the Milky Way galaxy, right? If it is as large as they say that it is, there's no way for us to view it. Everything that you see technically would be inside of our galaxy going one way.
Correct. I see
Correct. We estimate what our galaxy looks like based off of other galaxies we see.
Well, here's the thing. This is the problem that I have, right? They say that there is 200 billion suns like ours in the middle of our Milky Way galaxy, yet they never turn the damn Hubble telescope or the James Webb towards it. It's always looking outside. Why not show us what's inside our galaxy if this is the case?
that.
It would be a big ass bright. There would be a big heat signature. If they're saying that they're looking all the way out, how come they can't just point it towards
That's
the
too
center?
generally speaking. So if you look at photography and how cameras work, you have different lenses for different distances. If you were to take a lens that could zoom a very far distance and you want to view a close object, it won't work. And so you would have to adjust it. And so that is where I can't speak to that theory of what
That's
you're
not
talking
how-
about
That's not how them
because I don't know
telescopes
how
work.
that works.
Yeah, but that's not how they work. The James Webb telescope and the Hubble doesn't work like that. It's not about a zoom. The only thing they're doing is picking up different light sources,
No,
radiation, gamma, X-ray, all these things, right? And it's got a big ass lens, so it will reflect the
still
light.
has to have a photographic sensor that works in the same way.
Right. What I'm saying is, wouldn't they be able to point it inward instead of outward, looking past the Milky Way arm that you see? Point it the opposite way and show us the center of our Milky Way galaxy. Show us what's in it. If we are inside of our own galaxy and they say that there's a bunch of planets that could possibly be inside of our galaxy, why not show us that?
I don't think you can use the same technology just to do that, is what I'm telling you. They would have to invent and do something completely different to be able to do that, which I think we should. But you can't just take a camera that's built for this, the way this works. Oh, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Brent Rossman. Huh. That's interesting. But the way it's designed, and then use it in a different way for objects that are a little bit closer. That's where I don't see that would be possible.
Ask Billy Carson. Absolutely.
No, let's not. Let's not. Guys, we got 5 minutes before we switch over to Pilled. Just FYI, go over to pilled.net. Not you, Brent, but everybody else.
Why not him? Is he mean or something?
You remember a name that was banned recently? And then all of a sudden, now this name is showing up again? Yeah. Just saying. I'm connecting the dots. More of them. But we'll see.
again, real quick, just want to say thank you to every one of you guys that are watching right now and that have been sharing my stuff. Y'all have been helping my platforms grow again. They've been seeing big increases in numbers, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you a whole bunch. I appreciate you. I'm trying. It's been a slow climb, but I'm getting back. I was at 380,000 people on Facebook, and I'm climbing back up. It's going slow right now, but it's been moving faster lately. So I appreciate it. Instagram, I had 264 or 256,000, something like that. It was something there in the 200,000s. And I'm slowly growing back up there. I got a video over there that's going crazy. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you're some of them people that share my stuff out and hit the like button a whole bunch, I appreciate you. Create you an account on pilled.net. This is where we do this show at America's Conspiracy Compass, where we talk about all kind of cool stuff like this. So, yeah.
And we can freely say what we want. We don't have to worry about anything.
Yes. Freedom of speech. Totally.
All right. We see some of you switching over already. I see you guys over here. Kim says, Cash, you are messing with her head.
I'm messing with her head.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So where are we going with this, Cash?
We're not going anywhere. It's something that, made me think, because when you think about like ancient societies, right? There's been ancient societies that mapped out star systems that we just recently discovered within the last century.
Sure.
Like the Dogon tribe, very interesting tribe in Africa, still wearing nothing, they're naked. They run around out there with sticks and all of that stuff. The bush people kind of, I think. But they knew about star systems that we just barely discovered recently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they knew the shapes of atoms, the 4 shapes that an atom takes. They knew all these things. How the hell did they know these things? And what's really out there in them stars?
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know. Like it's interesting, and this is where I agree with you in this. But this is where I want private industry doing this part, and that's why I'm a big fan of SpaceX. They're able to do so much more than the government. And when you start doing private industry, it's so much more than the government can ever do, because the government is so corrupt and self-centered that
they lie.
We'll never achieve things.
I don't think they want us to know all the truth. And and not to tie this in with the Bible, right? But let's say that they're true about the Milky Way galaxy, and it's got 200 billion stars in the middle of it, right?
Sure.
That are just super bright. Doesn't that kind of align up with the Bible though, when it talks about the rainbow throne, or the rainbow that was around the throne of God, and the throne of God was sat in the center, and that place just happens to be so full of light that you couldn't even look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
No, it is, and we have to question everything, right? We have to question everything that we're told, and to make sure it's unfortunate we're in this situation that we have to question everything. But I think it's also healthy, because that fuels debate and understanding, and so it's a good thing to be doing that. But guys, we see a lot of people still on the mainstream platforms. You got 2 more minutes to switch.
If you guys would, please switch over to pilled.net, because we're about to cut the streams over here and continue this discussion and play a couple videos. And we're going to talk about these ancient civilizations that had knowledge that we kind of don't have today. It's just maybe we do have it. It's just a different type, but it's really interesting to see their civilization compared to ours and the things that they knew. So we're going to talk about it all. Join us over on pilled.net, PILLED.net. It's totally free, and it's freedom of speech, and it's created by Americans. So come on over.
Cash, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on a perspective like this?
Not everyone can see clearly through a biblical lens. I don't think anybody really can see clearly through a biblical lens, because the Bible is, it's a man-made book, and you can only try. So this is how I look at it, right? When you look at, and then we'll get off of here, but when you look at all these different holy books, it was man's attempt to try to explain things. That's all it is. It was man's attempt to try to explain things that they couldn't explain, also mixed with the history of people that were also trying to understand, that may even have had a better understanding, if you want to be technical. Because these people, when you read about like Ezekiel, and you read about Jeremiah, and you read about Solomon, especially Solomon, and you see the things that they were able to do, and the visions that Ezekiel was able to see, and how history played out,
right,
and how the things that he was being told came true. It makes you wonder, like, who the hell was he? This had to be somebody that knew more than him, giving him this information and allowing Elijah getting carried up in a chariot of fire. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of stuff, and it's like, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Raptor, the reason why I bring this up, when it comes to this scenario, this opens up when you say it in the way you mentioned it, and this is not a slam on you at all, but it makes me think that this is where some people, especially with the internet today, you have false prophets. When you say not everyone can see clearly through a biblical lens, I have a very similar stance to what Cash just said. I don't think anybody can. We will all deal with God that the day we approach him, no one can see it through a biblical lens.
Yeah.
So and that's what why I brought that up, is very interesting.
And it's because no one exists from that time period. So we have, and in all reality, we have no idea what they saw or what they're talking about. We just have to interpret what we think they saw.
Right.
But each person's different at what they think or interpret what that person saw.
Right.
So
that's real interesting what he just said.
Like, for example, this cup right here, and it's blue. Now, if I say in 15 minutes it's going to be red, you guys might think, well, how can that be? It's going to still be blue. But I'm talking, 3,000 years ago, I might be referring to a blue. I might be referring to a red, but nobody was back there to tell us exactly what we're referring to.
You know what's the funny thing?
If that makes sense.
Think about this before we jump off. Think about this, right? The Emerald Tablets, we're going to talk about that too. But think about this. What you just said, that it's blue and it's going to be red, right? Language. In 1,000 years, blue, or what you've written, might be translated as poison.
It might be red.
Or holy. And this is how we look at how we are now. We're trying to decipher things. You got people that claim that they know what's written on tablets that is a dead language. And they're just making up an interpretation as they see with modern language and trying to compare and contrast of what looks the same and maybe how it sounded. Mm-hmm. How do you know that anything that's on these tablets, which we're going to get into right now about the Emerald Tablets, how do you know that shit means what it means? How do you know what's really written on the hieroglyphs in Egypt? How do you know? We're taking the words of people who say that they know because they got a degree. How do I know you didn't just make
they don't even have a degree?
Agenda?
And see, with history, any real historian should know this, that history is open to interpretation because none of us are from that time period. So we don't know 100% for sure that something is blue or red, because for all we know, the language got switched up over the eras, and I may be saying this is blue, but what if it's actually really green and they just got mixed up in the translation?
All right.
If that makes sense.
We're going to jump off. It makes sense. With that, we're going to jump over and finish this discussion. I want to play a couple clips from talking about the Emerald Tablets from Billy Carson, and we're going to break those down. We're going to talk about those things. So if you guys want to continue this discussion with us, please go over to pilled.net right now. It's free. Create your account and come over there and watch us. You can follow us, Cash Lee Kelly and American versus Government over there on pilled.net. All right. We would appreciate it if you guys showed up. Go ahead, Casey. Cut the feeds.
So, Jericho, you say literally archaeology, and yes, we do dig up things and make educated guesses, but it's still